Hello everyone, my name is Jimmy and welcome to The Last Lap. In today's video we're going to be breaking down everything from Texas Motor Speedway, but before we hop into the video I just want to quickly remind you guys to hit that like button and subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it if you guys did that. But let's go ahead and hop into the video. Matthew, my friend and co-host, is joining me on the video. And I got one question for you. Matthew. How you doing today? How you doing? Yeah. If you guys don't remember, before, when the playoffs started, Matthew opened his mouth and was doing all that to me. So, it's not over yet. Kyle Busch still has a chance. So, but if he does, this is the first of many. If he misses this round, you're gonna hear more of it. And I'm a nice guy. I was thinking about letting it slide, but I was like, no, you did it to me. So, I told you I wouldn't forget, so we'll see what happens within these next few rounds. But in all seriousness, though Matthew is joining me on the show. Yes, I know you've been so butthurt all week. I said Kyle Busch was going to be out this round. Eric Estep said he was going to be out this round. All the guys on NBC said Kyle Busch would be out this round. So I know you're a bit salty, and I know you still got some time to get over it and prove us all wrong. But anyways, how you doing before we go ahead and quickly hop into the video?
Well, first and foremost, at least my driver made the playoffs. Your guy didn't even make the playoffs, so I think you should be the last guy talking here, because at least my guy made the playoffs here. So it's fine. We still got 2 races to go, and the deficit is not as bad as I thought. So there is still a chance. So I cannot wait to see how it will be after the Charlotte Roval. So yeah, let's get this review on. Let's get our favorite racetrack, Texas Motor Speedway, its review here.
Alright, so it was a very hot day in Texas, over 100 degrees. So hot temperatures led to slick conditions all day, and several playoff drivers had a rough day as well. But to quickly start off, Luka Doncic, the Dallas Mavericks player, was in attendance today because Tyler Reddick had a paint scheme designated to him, so that was really cool to see him there. Bubba Wallace, he sat on the pole and led laps early, and then Christopher Bell, another slow pit stop with this crew. It's been talked about ever since the playoffs started, how this pit crew swap was made supposed to help Christopher Bell in the playoffs when it really has probably hurt him more than helped him. Austin Dillon, he lost a wheel after green flag pit stops, and then that caused a flurry of cautions after that. Alex Bowman and Eric Almirola got together, and then Todd Gilliland, he lost a wheel as well. And then in stage 1, Kyle Busch, he unfortunately lost control in turn 1 and backed it into the wall. Apparently, earlier in the run, he was complaining he thought he might have a right front tire going down. He ended up not pitting, and something wasn't right with the car. The crew tried to tell him to try to ride it out till the end of the stage, and just a few laps before the stage ended, he ended up spinning around and backing it into the wall, which is weird because it looked like, and he even said it in his interview, that he got like the rear of the car stepped out from him, not the front, which, if it was a right front tire issue, the car would have just taken off straight into the wall, but he ended up getting loose and spinning out. So I don't know what the problem might have been, if even there was a problem with Kyle Busch, but that ended his day early. And on that pit stop, Denny Hamlin and Ty Gibbs, they made contact on pit road. Denny Hamlin was trying to pull out of his pit stall, and Ty Gibbs was running a really tight line on the inside of pit road, and they made contact, pretty hard contact. It actually ended Ty Gibbs' day, and didn't seem to affect Hamlin's car too much, but it may have affected it just enough to where he didn't have race-winning speed. A few drivers tried to stay out and collect stage points because that caution came out with like 5 to go. But Tyler Reddick, he was able to stay in the lead and win stage 1. But after the stage ended, Martin Truex Jr. got caught up in a chain reaction after the stage. He seemed to try to slow down, and I think Eric Jones got into Brad Keselowski, and Brad Keselowski got into him and ended up spinning him out. So that was quite a little bit of a weird situation there. Stage 2 was pretty calm. There was just a caution for Corey LaJoie in Stage 2, and everybody was able to pit and make it to the end of the stage after that. Kyle Larson made his way through the field, made it to the lead, ended up winning the stage, and Bubba Wallace, who was, I think, leading at some point in Stage 2, he fell all the way back to 9th place because he took 2 tires on that pit stop and then started to fade towards the end of that run. In Stage 3, Daniel Suarez, he spun as green flag pit stops were starting. Tyler Reddick, he was trapped a lap down because he pitted right before that happened, but he would take the wave around and be able to get back on the lead lap. And this race was under control until about 25 laps to go, and J.J. Yeley ended up spinning out, causing a caution to come out, and then drivers who stayed out on that caution were Kyle Larson, Bubba Wallace, William Byron, Chase Briscoe, Harvick, Chase Elliott, drivers like that. So they were restarted up at the front with about 20 laps to go or so. And Wallace and Larson, they were side by side on the restart. And going into turn 1 after the restart, Kyle Larson was under Bubba Wallace, and he just got loose right underneath of him, spun that car around just like that, and he ended up backing into the wall, destroying his race car. So Kyle Larson would be done for the day. And then there was another restart after that with Bubba Wallace, William Byron, Chase Briscoe, and all of them at the front. And there was another big crash on the front stretch. It seemed like Tyler Reddick and Eric Jones, they both got into the wall at the same time off of turn 4. And then Ryan Blaney, AJ Allmendinger, Austin Cindric, and a few other guys just got caught up trying to avoid the wreck. So that took out even more playoff contenders. And then there was one more restart with 6 laps to go. This time it was Chase Briscoe and Bubba on the front row, and then William Byron and Chase Elliott on row 2. And they were able to get going on the restart. Briscoe and Bubba, they kind of got tight coming off of turn 2. William Byron went 3 wide to the bottom. He was able to clear Briscoe, and then he was able to clear Bubba Wallace in turn 3. And William Byron was able to take the lead and hang on and win at Texas. I would count that as a steal for William Byron. I'll talk about that in just a minute, but let me throw the results on the screen for you guys. So William Byron, Ross Chastain second. Great run for him. It seemed like he had top 5 speed all day. He has started to come to fruition in these playoffs and show some speed, so great run for him. Bubba Wallace third, Christopher Bell fourth, Denny Hamlin fifth, 3 Toyotas right there. Kevin Harvick 6th, great run for him after a terrible first round in the playoffs. Daniel Suarez, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 9th, and Chase Briscoe holds on to a top 10. So quickly, just some few things I want to talk about. William Byron. So in the middle of this race, I was thinking about what I was going to talk about on this video, and I was going to say that it seemed like William Byron has not brought the speed in the playoffs so far. And then he goes out and wins. Now, did he have race winning speed all day long? No, I don't think so. I think he was probably a 5th place car at best. I would argue probably even like 7th or 8th, like back half of the top 10 speed for William Byron today. But he was able to hang around when it mattered and able to capitalize on a late race restart and get the win. So he has locked himself into the round of 8. And I feel like since he's locked into the round of 8, I feel like they'll spend a lot more time prepping for those tracks in the round of 8 in order to get to Phoenix. So I think William Byron, he's looking good to get the championship 4 as of right now. And that is 5 more playoff points as well for the round of 8. So that he was already at the top. He's just going to add even more to that. Bubba Wallace, he had a really strong car all day, probably 3rd or 4th best car behind probably Kyle Larson, Eric Jones, surprisingly. Oh yeah, I want to talk about him. He didn't finish in the top 10, but Eric Jones, he had probably the 2nd or 3rd best car all day long and was running behind Kyle Larson until J.J. Yeley spun and everything went to chaos after that. But Eric Jones, want to give a huge shout out to him. He ran really well today. He had a really good car. But back to Bubba Wallace, he was probably right behind him or Denny Hamlin, 3rd or 4th place car. he was in the right place at the right time at the end. Um, he battled Kyle Larson really hard, really clean. Kyle Larson just got loose underneath of him, and he spun out. And then on the final restart, he just got too caught up with Chase Briscoe, and then just let William Byron slide right by him and wasn't able to pass him. So tough break for Bubba Wallace there. He had a chance to get the win, just couldn't quite execute. But he does have Talladega coming up. He could get a lot of stage points there if he runs up front and tries to win the stages. He's really good at super speedways, so he could even try to go for the win there. But definitely wouldn't count Martin Truex Jr. out of this round just yet. And then one more driver I quickly want to talk about is Martin Truex Jr. He had another midday, like just not that good of speed. Even before he got ran over at the end of stage one, he may have gotten stage points, I don't know, but even if he did, it was towards the back half of the top 10. So I don't know, Martin Truex Jr., I think he's looking good as of now in the playoff standings. He's looking okay as of now. But going into Talladega, he's usually not good there, and then the Roval, I don't know how well he's going to do there. So Martin Truex Jr. might be a guy. He might be, by the time the Roval comes around, he might be fighting for his life again to move on to the round of 8. But yeah, that's pretty much all I really want to talk about as far as the race goes. Matthew is going to go ahead and talk about the playoff standings with you guys, show you guys where everyone is at. So Matthew, go ahead and do the honors.
All right, so I got the playoff standings right after today at Texas. So first and foremost, William Byron advances. Congrats to him. He did kind of get lucky there, considering all the circumstances that happened in the end, but he still was able to close it out. And it's always great seeing that Liberty University car always out there winning. And I mean, it's kind of a Liberty sweep, as they're still undefeated in college football. And also, William Byron won this weekend. So, great weekend for them as someone that graduated from Liberty University, which is me. So, congrats to Byron. Denny Hamlin, who is plus 37. He had one of the fastest cars. He did make some contact on pit road with his teammate, which I don't know what in the world that was all about. I don't know why Ty Gibbs was so like low low on pit lane. He wasn't like all the way out. So I don't quite understand that, but he's still getting a lot of points. Chris Buescher, who once again NBC was emphasizing, his home track, Texas, which he's from Prosper, Texas, which has a population of about 30,000. He's plus 22. Solid day for him. Christopher Bell plus 20. I mean, he was definitely up and down today, and it's once again the pit crew was messing up already, so that's still a concern, but he still is plus 20. Lawrence Strix Jr. plus 19, which once again had another quiet day, which for the regular season champion, that's not very good if you're just quiet. You're not, really out there contending. But he's still plus 19, so he's still good for now. But Talladega is still there, which Martin Truex Jr. has never been a super speedway guy, let's just say. So, I mean, if he has an issue there, then we could be talking about big trouble for Truex. But he's still plus 19. Ross Chastain plus 12. Another good day for this team. I know they had some sort of issue going on, but they were still able to finish second. I mean, this team is surprising me. I have them out of the first round, but they've kind of had some speed back all of a sudden. So he's plus 12. Brad Keselowski plus 8. Another great day for RFK in general, and Brad Keselowski was no exception. He's plus 8. I feel like this number 6 car in general, they have absolutely stayed out of trouble. It seems like it hasn't seemed like they haven't had a lot of bad luck or anything. And we're coming up on the super speedway, where Roush is always so good on those tracks. So it's looking good for Brad here. Plus 8. Kyle Larson plus 2, and the last guy in. which I did not think we would be talking about this today. But I mean, it was towards the end. He was battling for the lead with Bubba Wallace, and he wrecked himself basically. And unfortunately, we're gonna have some idiots, putting the blame on a certain someone. But guess what? It was racing with a lead, and they're battling out. And guess what? Larson spun out, so on his own. They didn't make contact. He didn't bump it out of the way. Larson spun off. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any of that delusional BS that I know that we're gonna hear on social media this whole week on. So I mean, it's unfortunate for Larson, but he just lost control there. So now he went from possibly advancing to literally plus two. And we're literally coming to Talladega where he hasn't won a single super speedway race either. And he has kind of the worst luck on super speedways as well. So I know there's still the Roval coming up, which he did win there before, but I mean, last year at the Roval, he had issues in that race, which knocked him out of the second round. So I mean, if I'm Larson, all he can do is try to survive at Talladega. Um, Now, Bubba Wallace, -2. What an impressive day for this 23 team. On the pole, led the most laps, was there for the win. I do feel very bad for him because he arguably had the best car today. And I mean, if he just raced, if he just did something a little different on that restart, maybe he could have won. But still, third's great for him. He's only -2 compared to -14, which started at this race. And we're coming up to Talladega, where he's very good there as well. Now the road course is still, he's still not good there, but what happened to Watkins Glen, he showed quite an improvement. So if he can show that same improvement in Roval, maybe it won't be so bad for him. Now we got Tyler Reddick, -3. This team was very confusing today because one point they were leading. I thought they were leading, and then the next thing you know, he's stuck in 25th, and he was there pretty much the whole race after that. So it was quite an interesting day for Reddick. He's -3 now, but we still got the Roval, which I can't count out Tyler Reddick can't count out Tyler Reddick on the the road courses. So he's -3. Ryan Blaney, -11. He had an up and down day as well. He did not start out well, but he gained some track position, was up front. Then he got shuffled back again, and he was involved in that late race wreck. So now he's -11. He's also good on super speedways as well, and he did win on the Roval, but we'll see how that goes. And then unfortunately, my guys literally dead last in this chart here, -17 for clear, obvious reasons why. Um, well, I mean, Talladega, I mean, he did win there last time. There is hope, but that was kind of lucky, and you need a lot of luck to win those races, which in these playoffs, he has no luck. So, and then there's the Roval, which the A car is always good on road courses, but well, we'll see. We'll see. I hope he's able to climb. I mean, -17 is not that bad as I thought, but this was literally the worst case scenario because Talladega is so unpredictable, and the Roval is also unpredictable as well. Plus, it's hard to pass on road courses, so qualifying is going to be more important there. So yeah, that is the playoff grid, and we'll see how chaotic Talladega is going to be now.
And to add on to it, they brought stage cautions back to road courses for the Roval, so that'll add even more drama because people might stay out and try to get stage points and sacrifice track position and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, these next two races, they're gonna be crazy. I'm I'm glad Chase Elliott isn't in the playoffs, so I don't have to be stressed about anything. I can just watch these next two races and just have fun and enjoy it and cheer for all the
Yeah,
drama
you're
in the
having
world to
fun in
happen. To
Cancun.
I'm chilling. I'm having fun. I'm chilling. I'm vibing. But yeah, I could just watch these races as a fan and cheer for all the chaos to happen because my driver's not involved in it. Unless, well, he could win, I guess, but he's not in the playoffs. But, anyways, yeah, so let's go ahead and rate this race. I don't know. For Texas, it was okay. Honestly, the drama at the end, I don't know if that was good for it or bad for it because up to then it seems like just like a good natural race and then somebody spins out and then this guy wrecks, that guy wrecks, everybody else wrecks. But for me, I think I'll give it, I don't know, I'll give it a 5.5 out of 10, just above average, I guess. Just because of all that stuff that happened there at the end, I guess it helped it out a little bit. So 5.5 for me. Matthew, what are you going to rate the race?
I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I thought it was just okay. At least it wasn't like last year where every 30 laps there was a tire blown, especially if you were the leader. That was what I was worried about coming in this race, but there were a lot of tires blown. There were more of wheels falling off, and yeah, it was just okay. Once again, it's a single groove track. It's hard to pass. It's just I just wish we could take a bulldozer and just demolish the whole place. We don't even need to be there anyways. We got Circuit Americas, we'll be fine. But yeah, 6 out of 10. It was okay.
All right, and just to conclude, not really a well, it's a rumor, I guess, about the schedule next year. So it is rumored that apparently Texas might be going to the spring, which I think for the fans' sake that would be much better because they don't want to be out there in 100-degree heat every September. So moving it to the spring, February, March, April would probably be a little bit better. I'm not from Texas, but I know it's warm there year round, but it's probably way better there in the spring than it is this time of year. And it might be rumored to be swapping with Atlanta because we've both seen some stuff on social media about another super speedway making its way into the playoffs and possibly another road course as well. So just some schedule rumors going around. Still waiting for it to come out. We're dying for it to come out because we want to try and go to a few races together next year, a few tracks we might not have been to yet. So we're dying for this schedule to come out. But those are just some silly little rumors to finish this video up. But Matthew, what do you have to say about that or anything else? We'll go ahead and finish this video up.
Races like today is the reason why I'm glad I'm not a NASCAR driver because I can't do it. I could not be able to get in a metal coffin that's like 150 degrees inside. It's just it's just amazing how these drivers are able to just get through it. I mean, probably like lap 50, I'll probably be like, okay, get me out of here. It's hot. um, it's literally oven in there, so it's I don't want to hear about these drivers not being athletes when you see examples like this race today where you literally have to be physically fit to be in these cars in this heat.
Yeah, and a few drivers they didn't even wear cool suits, and I heard that BJ McLeod's cool suit wasn't working, so it was like warm water inside of it instead of cold water. So yeah, I can't even imagine what the drivers were going through today. So big props to them for sticking it up, being tough, and riding it out. But yeah, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for this episode. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts about Texas in the comments below and for the rest of the NASCAR playoffs. But until next time, we will see you guys in our next video.